want to welcome y'all to Tonedeftestimonies. Yeah, let's get it. Straight out the gate, it's time to separate. When the work is this hot, you can't wait till it bakes. When you're known to call shots, it's red dots to the face. A marathon, not a race, when you hear the trail blaze. Unfazed, I'm attacking airwaves. I ignite the nights, making waves in the bay. I'm the mouth of the South, what more can I say? I don't hesitate, cause I just elevate. This is my moment to shine, I'm a component of life. And if you're not about that grind, you're an opponent of mine. I put it all on the line, in pursuit of my prime. I stand tall on my stance, there ain't no stopping my stride. Ain't nothing phony or fake, ain't in this game for the fame. I'm in this thing for the change, impacting lives on the way. Bringing life to the stories, giving God all the glory. Through the shine and the gory, tone deaf testimonies. Yeah. This is when we get real. This is when we get to learn more. This is when we get to dive deeper. This is that real. This is that authentic. This is that genuine. This is tone deaf testimonies. All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Tone Capone holding it down for Tampa Bay, Florida. I'm originally from Junction City, Kansas, and I like to, dibble and dabble in some things in the media right now. Like I'm the host of Waves of the Bay on a FM radio in Tampa Bay, 88.5. That's every Saturday from 10 until midnight. Let me shout out my co-host on that DJ Spaceship, man. That's my brother right there. I want to do something different, man. I want to start something else up. And as you can see in the background, I got that Tone Deaf Testimonies is what we're going to call it. So pretty much what this is, there's some people I want to talk to that we're not able to get on the radio, or we don't have enough time to talk to on the radio, or we just want to elaborate more or just get a little bit more, in depth with it. So because of that, I figure why not? Let's go with Tone Deaf Tuesday. See, I already trademarked it, man. Tone Deaf Tuesdays, bro. Tone Deaf Tuesdays.
Hey.
I like that. But we're going to call this one the Tone Deaf Testimonies. And my first guest I have here is the homie Rekless, holding it down, man. So Rekless, what's good with you, man? Welcome to the Tone Deaf Testimonies.
What up? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited because you get to be guest number one, man. And this is some new stuff. And like I said, you can cuss all you want to. I'm about to start cussing here in a second, probably, just reliving my FM days, because I have to just stay so clean on the radio, man. And sometimes it feels good just to let loose, but we'll see. But yeah, man.
I'm a loosen up a little bit. I'm a little corporate / dad right now, but I know as soon as I get into it, I'm gonna let loose.
Hey, I feel you. That's why we scheduled this one after my baby girl's bedtime. That way I don't have to worry about it, dog. So trust me, I know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get it started off with, just a generic question. Like, who are you? Tell us about, yourself as an artist and where you're coming from, things like that,
Okay. So, for those who don't know me, I go by Reh Rek, aka Rekless. But hey, throughout the Bay, it's been Rekless,
Yeah.
I've been moving reckless.
Recklessly all day.
All day. But I started off with the name Reh Rek. A lot of the people who know me from back in the days knows me as Reh Rek. Man, I've been doing music for a number of years, as an MC, a producer. I wrote hooks and verses for my homies back in the day, So I basically just started off writing hooks and producing for other people. And then I moved on to being a solo artist, and I just been building from that.
How did that happen? Like when you was working with everybody else and then just moving to your own, like what was your mindset when that happened? Was it just like, all right, let me go ahead and put the cape on and go to work, or what?
Well, I think what it was is when I went off to college, I was away from all my homeboys. You know what I mean? Everybody that I grew up with, I was out there by myself. And they had talent shows on campus and everything, and I really wanted to get involved, and I just decided to go for it. I was like, let me try this out. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here. Let me put my stamp on things out here. I went to Bethune-Cookman.
Okay.
Daytona Beach, and I linked up with a couple of cats out there on the campus. My homie Bliss he's from New York, and a couple other cats. We just got together. We was freestyling and everything. And it was like, yo, you got a little skills. Won't you try something? Won't you get out there on your own, try something? So I did. You know, I tried it out. I got on stage. I actually did good. I thought I was gonna bomb. I was scared.
I was about to ask you too, man.
I
Did you
thought
do
I
your
was
own
going.
music or did you do like a cover when you got on stage?
The first time I got on stage, I did a cover.
What
I
did you
can't.
do?
Um, I did. I know one. I did Tupac's um, "Me Against the World." No, it wasn't "Me Against the World." It was "Shed So Many Tears." I love that beat. "Shed So Many."
Doom, 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 doom,
You know what I mean? I just
doom, doom. All right,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah,
all right.
yeah. And then we had like a little medley too. Like you didn't just you wanted to utilize all your time. So I did like a couple of beats. I chopped up a couple of beats and then just spit, you know. Um, but as far as like doing my own beats, bro, let me tell you, you know how they send you those credit cards when you first turn of age? The first credit card I got, I bought a DR5, like a rolling DR5 drum machine. Just blew the whole limit.
It bees like that sometimes. There's worse stuff you could have bought.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But that's how I knew that I really had the passion for this, man. Because I didn't, without even thinking, as soon as I got the card, I went straight to the music store and bought it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And you
You
think
know,
about way back when that first piece of equipment, and now you're working in, major studios, dog.
yeah, it's
What a difference.
crazy.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference with that. So you went to Bethune-Cookman and you started spitting. And then what happened from there?
From there, I stayed in touch with the guys that I was coming up with here in St. Pete, and they was moving. They was getting a little buzz out here, and I came back home to see what they was doing, and they was doing shows out here, and then we got invited um, to compete for a position to open up. I'm showing my age, but I gotta tell you the truth.
It's all good.
So we got an invite to compete for a position to open up for the Fugees when they
Hey,
came out with the score. They
okay.
was on they was on tour, so we competed at this club out in Tampa, and we won. Like as a group, we won, and we got to open up for the Fugees. We opened up for Keith Murray. It really took off from there. Then we got invited to open up for the Lost Boys. So they was moving, but then it got crazy. A lot of guys got the big head. Um,
Egos,
and
man.
yeah, the egos, and they wanted this set of guys, but they didn't want those guys there. It kind of split us up. You know, so I went back to school, and things just fell apart. As far as us being a group.
You were the glue holding them together.
I would say so, because I've always been the mediator and the moderator. when
Right.
when there was issues within the group. We had a lot of talented cats. My friend, one of my close friends, E. Villain, he passed away years ago. But he was very talented, and there was a lot of record labels after him. Even when we were in high school, when we were just starting out, um, there was a lot of record labels after him. Slip and Slide Records was looking at him, so we felt that he would probably be the one to blow, but
Hmm.
his life got cut short, tragically in an accident. But
Sorry to hear that, man.
yeah, it was rough, and I think that's when the group really broke apart. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I went on. I kept strong because again, man, I love music. I've always been involved in music, so I kept going. I moved with some of the cats that I linked up with in school. Um, we I think we opened up for like the Yin Yang Twins when they first came out.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, I did a lot of work, you know. But the thing is, Tone, the hard part about it is everything we gained, we had to earn it. Like there was nothing handed to us. So like, you know how cats, they go in the studio, they got studio time, or they can build a studio in their house. At the time, man, we talking about coming out the pockets for equipment. You know, not
I do know. I do know. I remember right before I moved to Tampa, this is like '05. This is the summer before I moved. I remember my dude told I just started getting into music like right around that time. And my dude
yeah.
was like, yo, you need to get Pro Tools and you could put it on payment plans. And I was like, oh, bet. So 24 payments later, I'm over here chilling with Pro. You know, I already had the Pro Tools the whole
Right.
time, but you know, I finally paid that thing off. It was like school loans almost off. It was almost
Yeah.
like Sally Mae when I got done paying that damn thing off. So I was
Yeah.
like, sometimes you gotta invest in yourself though, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, so I just, you know, I just build from there. I always work. I did a little bit of DJing. I went to school for mass communications, and I had a specialty in broadcast technology.
Bro.
So I worked in college radio. I was a production director at WBCC Radio. I was on-air jock. I actually did some on-air work here in St. Pete. It was on an AM station. I think it was like WRXB.
Hmm.
And but the thing I found out that it ain't no love in the radio industry.
It's even less love right now, man. Radio's starting to become extinct, to tell you the truth, bro.
Yeah, I mean, unless you are a huge celebrity, you know, on-air personality, you ain't making no money. So I had to,
Right.
you know, I had to hustle, man. So I was doing that and DJing on the side and trying to finish up school and working, you know. But it's all for the love, man. It's all for the love, you know.
Let me ask you this, man, because I know with what you're telling me about, it kind of lines up with like how I was coming up, like we had to actually work for it, and
Mhm.
especially like back then, like before like Soldier Boy hit internet mainstream and all this other stuff. But like, how do you feel like the difference is between like you trying to get on back then versus like artists trying to get on like right now?
I think it's a lot easier now. It's not some people may say it's not easy now because they living in these times. But
Hmm.
compared to what we went through, um, first of all, you didn't have the same access you do now. Um, access to many different platforms. There's so
Right.
many different ways you can blow up right now. We didn't have that back then. You know, the internet was it just started popping. You know, there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram or
Could you
anything like.
imagine if we would have had social media back in
Oh
our
my
time,
gosh.
though? Because, bro, I'll be thinking about this almost daily. Like, man, I probably would have been caught up by my mom for sure, like for
Yeah,
sure. But then I also might have been like a little hood celebrity at the same damn time because we used to get into some shit, man. Like for real, we used
for
to have some
real.
fun.
You know, so I mean, it's crazy. And then, you know, as far as promotions, like I remember you had to have a real ass street team. Like you had to
Yeah,
do, like you had to put in, you had to get you a your crew, and y'all had to pound the pavements up and down different blocks, posting up posters, you know,
interacting with
passing.
people like
Yeah,
in person, not behind no phone or
exactly.
yeah,
You know, rapping it, and you really had to fight and earn your respect out in the streets, literally in the streets. You know what I mean? People talk about these streets like, but they talking virtually.
hmm.
I'm talking about in your face, you know.
They're talking Sesame Street with it.
Yeah, you know, but in the studio time, paying for studio, it felt like it was a lot of money for me, you know, back then. You know, I remember taking checks, you know, that I earned from work and just putting it to the side. We
Hmm.
had our little hustle game too, you know.
Of course, of course. Y'all St. Pete cats, of course.
You know, we had our little hustle, you know, so that we could get some studio time. But even that, man, you couldn't. You still had to master it. That was
Hmm.
you know, you still had to mix it and master it. You come out the studio, your shit ain't even mixed. You just gotta
Trust
roll.
me, I learned that one the hard way, dog. I thought I was stunting until we
Yeah,
played it in the club, and it was just boom, boom, boom. You know how it
and
is, man. You don't mix and
yeah.
master it properly, bro. Yeah,
Oh, it sounds horrible. And
terrible.
you know, the other part about it is these days you don't really need radio to blow up. Like
Right.
there's a lot of cats out here. They hot. There's a lot of cats I'm watching. They moving. They making money. They streaming, but they don't even have to be on broadcast radio to do it.
It's hard for me to get people to send clean music over. I'll tell you
Mhm.
that right now. Like, and I learned this from from my artist days because of my nephews and nieces. My cousin was like, "Yo, like they want to listen to your music, but you cuss too much. So why don't you try to clean it up next time?" I was like, "Damn." So plus I got a baby girl now, so it's just like when you're in the studio, it's so much easier to get a clean edit of the song right then and there as well
Mhm.
and knock it out both ways. But like I said, man, radio's starting to become extinct. People are starting to not check for radio because if you're, it seems like the mainstream radio is told what they need to play. And that's what the difference is between like us, Waves of the Bay, and then we get to play whatever we want to play. So that's why we
Right.
put on for y'all, you know what I'm saying? But they're being told they have to play, Rod Wave or whoever the hell, whoever the popular person is, Billie Eilish or whatever the cat,
Yeah,
it might be.
it's a format. You know how it is. You in radio, so
Hmm.
you know there's a format that they have to stick to, a certain amount of hot charting songs, and then you have your current, and then you have your mid, and you throw in a little bit of old,
Right, right.
90s or whatever, so it's a format that you have to stick to, and because of that, it doesn't leave a lot of opening for artists to get in there, and
Right.
we're not hearing different sounds, different music, different vibes. We only get one vibe on the radio. You know what I
That's it.
mean?
Hmm.
Whatever is hot right now is that bop. That bop is hot right now.
Hmm.
Whatever is popular right now, that's the only vibe we getting, you know. And people are smarter now than they was before. Before you listen whatever they play, that's what you going
That's
with.
it. That's it. But now that
Now,
we have that access, you can actually go find it.
yeah, you can actually go find it. And radio personalities now, they like, I could go get this money. I go get this Spotify deal. I could go get this title deal and get my own podcast, have my own show, and do what the hell I want to do. And I ain't even got to listen to the program director no more.
Ding, 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 ding.
You
And that's
feel?
why you see where this is at right here, man. We can do
Yeah,
our own thing. We don't need to worry about nobody else, man. Especially with the whole pandemic showing me how easy it is to go virtual with this stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Why not? We came up similarly, man. This is kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have
yeah.
some of the same experiences with stuff, man. Um, Let me see here. I want to talk about the new album, and I know I got some songs here. I definitely want to play some of these songs, but let's talk about the album and let's talk about the crew, man. How's everybody doing, man?
ACMG is doing good, man. We stay tight. We stay
I
family.
feel like I haven't seen y'all in so long, man. Like it's October, and I know I haven't seen a lot of people since March at the earliest. So I
Yeah,
feel like I haven't seen y'all in a while, man.
it's been a while. So we still family. Um, Leon da Vinci, he's doing his thing. Like he's really buzzing. He's really moving.
I
He's getting
believe it. I seen with some grape soda or something. I seen
grape.
that track from a while
Yeah,
back, and
yeah.
I think I
Grape
saw
soda.
another track he dropped recently or something. I feel like,
Yeah.
but
Be water. Um,
that's it.
yeah. Be water. Um, so he just recently dropped CBD Hills. It's about 8 tracks. He calls it an EP. Now we calling it an album because it's 8 tracks. But he's got a whole different vibe on there. You know, he's a very talented lyrical cat. I've I'll tell you a quick story about him and how we connect. I've known his family for a number of years. I started off working out, working with one of his cousins.
Okay.
She was a vocalist. She was a singer for us, and we worked on a couple of demo tracks for her. Her name is Passions Gates. She's doing other things now. This was years ago. And his uncle, I'm friends with. We have mutual friends, and his uncle brought him to me when he was about 16, 17 years old. And he
Okay.
was just raw talent. He had his crew. He came to my house. It was about 4 or 5 of them cats, you know, and they hungry. But when it came time to spit, I had my own crew, and I had that they freestyle. We check them out. We put them through it before we decide to bring you in.
Word.
Uh, so, but I noticed he was the hungriest out of all of them. All of them were talented. All of them have potential, but he just stood out. And I didn't give him any leeway because I knew his uncle. With this music, I don't play, so it's
Right.
different. But he really had something there, and we just built from there. So now he's got CBD Hills out. It's doing well. I think he released it last month or the month before last, and
Okay.
now he's keeping it moving. He's about to release another single. Um, he's been doing work with some producers up in Atlanta. They've been flying him in and out periodically every 3 to 4 months, working on something. KB, KB is she's doing all right. I still got her in my pocket.
Oh, I already know. I already know.
KB has taken a break. Another talented vocalist.
Hmm.
She's so versatile. She sings pop. She sings R&B. People don't know she sings gospel too. She
I
sings
believe it.
some inspirational
Because she
music.
can actually sing. She's not like a studio singer, you know?
No, not at all. She was singing barbershop when I met her, singing a cappella. So, and she has a wide range that people don't even know. They have no idea. And the crazy part about it, you've heard her voice, right?
Hmm.
She was singing bass. She was singing bass in barbershop. That's how wide
What?
her range is. They couldn't find they couldn't find a bass, so they couldn't find a baritone, so they used her because she can sing in different octaves.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's still doing that on this side, that just to keep sharp and stay in the game. But she had another career opportunity that was a lot more lucrative than what we had for her, and I ain't mad at her. I was I
Nah, you
was I
can't
was
be.
I was upset. I was hurt, Tone. I was hurt. I was
But
looking.
that's family, so family always
Yeah,
comes back, though.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's them numbers was looking good. Her numbers when she put that album out, it was doing so well, and the numbers, they wasn't just here in the Bay Area. We seen a lot of numbers on the West Coast. We seen a lot of streaming up north and Midwest. She was starting to get a real following. But hey, you got to make that money. I ain't mad
Yes,
at
you do. Yes, you do.
her. But okay, so let's bring it back to me because we
So
talking
now
about
we're
me.
talking about you and this brand new
Yes,
album. Go
yes.
ahead. What's the name of
Okay,
the
so
album?
it's called "As Long as I Live and Breathe." As
Hmm.
long as I live and breathe. And Tone, this album is so special to me, man, because I've been I had been working on this for about a year and a half, you know, just stacking my catalog, still recording. I
So
had
when
all
Boss Moves came out, you was already working on this.
when Boss Moves came, let me tell you, you know what Boss Moves was? Boss Moves were the tracks that I couldn't fit on this album. It was a totally different vibe, you
Got
know.
you. Got
Um,
you.
because I had so much I wanted to say. If you listen to Boss Moves is about that hustle. I'm sharing some pointers and some tips on how you should move in the game, how you should act, what your attitude should be, right? I couldn't fit that on this album because it was so much going on this album. So I was like, I'm gonna put this off to the side, and I'll give them this. I'll give this to the people to munch on while I'm still wrapping this up, because this
Right,
album
right.
here, like I said, is special. Um, but it's called As Long As I Breathe, and it's more of like it's a testimony. It's conviction. When you hear those words, when you hear somebody say "As long as I live and breathe," they're telling you this is what I'm committed to. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's some seriousness right there.
You know what I mean? So what I do is I'm addressing family matters. You know, I open up a little bit. I get beneath the surface. Um, the last couple of projects that I've worked on, music I've done in the past, I really didn't dig deep and really show you who I am, but behind the name. So with this album, I'm able to do that. I talk about the social unrest, what we're going through today. I get a little bit political, and then I get personal. You know, talking about the loss of friends. You know, we talked about this earlier.
Hmm.
We lost another a founding member in ACMG, Paul Williams, and though though he wasn't always with us because he had other things he was involved in as far as music, he always gave his soul to the music and to what we were doing, and always checking in on us. So I dedicate a portion of the album to him, and I have a couple of tracks with him on it because he wrote a lot of our vocalist lyrics.
When
Um,
you hear his voice, how does that make you feel right now? Because I know my cousin passed away, and we had some songs together, and it's kind of eerie.
it it was actually rough. It was rough doing it, and hearing his voice in the mixing. Uh, One of the producers, he was like, I can't get through this. Just cut it off. You know,
Hmm.
just stop it," because we were trying to listen to see how far we need to go into the mix and any touch ups and everything. He was like, "I got it, Ray. I know I know where you're going with this. Let's move on to it." You know what I mean? So it was
Right.
a little tough, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I was able to put this on the album so that people can really hear his voice um, and see where he was coming from. You know, um, so with us, as long as I live and breathe, this also I'm carrying my homies on my back as well in this. You know, there's other tracks where I talk about E Villain, the my other friend who
Hmm.
passed away years ago. You know, I talk about him on my last track, which is called Before My Wake. So yeah, man, it's and this may don't hold me to this. This may be my last solo album.
Man, bullshit. I hear that all the damn time. Let me just tell you, the last time I believed that was Too Short, album number 10. I remember the summertime 95, 96. He said he was retiring, and this nigga still dropping some albums right now. It's 20
You,
years later. So bullshit.
yeah,
Bullshit.
this music is hard to get away from, man. I get anxiety when I say I'm gonna hang it up. You know what I mean? I do. I
Hmm.
really do. I truly get anxiety, man, because it's been a part of my life. Like, what am I going to do?
You
It's
would just
like,
fall back into something else, knowing you fall back into being more of an executive or whatever. You still be associated with music in some capacity,
of
but
of
you probably
course.
be back there ghostwriting for somebody or doing all that too, knowing you.
But Tone, I have to put the brakes on this so that those people that we talk about, KB, when we talk about Leon Da Vinci, and there's a couple of other artists that I'm working with, a couple other producers that I'm working with, and I'm mentoring. Um, in order for me to give them my 100%, I gotta be I gotta be available and I gotta be accessible, and I can't do that in trying to juggle my own solo career. You know what I mean? And at
Hmm.
this point, when I hear my son wanting to rap, and I did a track. It's not on this project, but I did a track with him, and it was just weird. I'm like, bro, I need to get out the way. I need to get out the way.
LeBron and Bronny over here, man.
You know what I mean? I got to get out the way so these cats can breathe, you know? So I'm getting out, you know, we talked about my journey and what I've gone through, but the blessing in all of that is that I'm able to bless other people with that, with my resources, with my contacts, with my experience, you know, the stories I share with you, I share with artists that I'm in contact with, and able to learn and take from that. Those are resources and access that we didn't have, you know? So I've done all the footwork. So now I'm going to give it to you, and hopefully you can take it to the next.
Pass the baton and let's get this shit finished up. I feel you.
Yeah. Don't need to waste time. You ain't got to waste your time in studio time. We got it right here. You ain't got to waste your time in context. We got the contacts right here. We got the platforms right here, you know? So
well, that's a problem with a lot of artists. They don't have any type of direction or any type of plan, and you already have that. So that's going to be key. That's going to be major right there. But I want to play some of this music, man. I want to play some of this music. You sent me 4 songs. I played my demands on the radio show already. So I want to go with one of these other 3 tracks here. Which one do you want me to play first?
Ooh, As Long As I Live and Breathe. That's off the new album.
This the title track of the album right here, then?
That's the title track of the album right there.
Okay, this is what it is, man. We're going to play this track. We'll be right back in just a moment, y'all.
Dizzy Visions.
As long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live,
as long as I breathe,
as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live. I'ma keep my faith in God. I've traveled many miles, He brought me this far. Had many trials, and God was right there. When times got hard, ain't nobody else care. I'ma represent my family. Love for my elders, paying homage to their memory. Forever grateful for the tools that they handed me. To be a leader, what's they plan for me? Be the best man I can be. I'ma always love my wife. Thankful for our sons, yeah, they my light. We buy the foundation and gotta raise them right. They don't have our struggles, but we build them for the fight. I ain't never gonna stop until I reach the top. I'm focused, relentless, persistent, consistent, always ascending, fully committed. My will is tremendous. As long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live,
as long as I breathe,
as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live. I'ma make my mama proud. I owe you for the lift on them times feeling down. You gave me words of encouragement. I was lost, now I'm found. See my life flourishing. Now my feet on solid ground. I'ma make sure you good. Can't have you living on supplement. Second gen in the hood, raised by the government. Them days wasn't good, now I see you loving it. As long as I live, nothing separate me from my mother. Even when we disagree, I'm a lover. I know it break a heart, I'm apart from my brother. I need to make amends with my brother. I'ma make an effort for us to stay connected. Differences aside, hope you accept it. My apologies, please don't reject it. These family ties should never be severed. As long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live,
as long as I breathe,
as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live, as long as I breathe, as long as I live.
See, this is the thing I can't stand about myself, dog. I get so excited about shit, dog. Like, that just got me hyped right there, dog. That was dope. That was dope right there. I felt that, man. Like, Oh, I can't stand it about myself, but that's just hot right there. All right,
Thank
so
you.
that's the title track from the album right there. As long as I live, as
Yeah,
long as I breathe. That's not,
yeah,
man. All right, all right, all right, all
yeah.
right, all right.
That's produced by my man Dizzy. Dizzy for Dizzy Vision. Yeah,
Dope.
yeah.
So, is he? I saw you work with him. I saw you work with Tango. Like, who else did production on this album?
Okay, so I got my man Tango from Tango Beats. Um, I got Dizzy, and then I have another producer. People, not too many people know about this one. He's coming up. He's nice. His name is Simba. Um, and
Simba, Simba.
Simba, he's a new cat that's coming up out here in St. Pete, and he's with Tango. That's Tango's right hand man. And
I feel like I've
this
heard. I feel like I've reached out to him for a beat battle one time before. So I
okay.
may. I feel like I have. I can't remember though.
Oh man, you need if you need me to, I will get him.
Oh, the
Uh,
next beat battle I do is gonna be epic, man. I can't wait. But I have no idea when it's gonna be. But I can't
and
wait though.
I've been trying to get a member of my team on there, man. I've been trying, but they're busy because they're working with artists that we deal with, and then they have other artists that they work with and everything. So they always give me excuse. I don't think I know they're not scared. I just think that they highly critical, of their beat making, and they may feel a type of way or something.
You don't have to. You preaching to the choir, man. Like after, before, like I'll say, like like after round one of the first beat battle, I saw just how producers are. So I was like, I don't like. Let me try to cater to them. I don't want no problems with y'all. Like I don't
Yeah,
want anybody thinking this is rigged. I got
yeah,
producers judging stuff because I got a consumer ear. I need somebody that
right,
can actually break it down and
exactly.
get to the nitty gritty. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
they could
saying?
they could
So
tell where the plugins at and where the waves are.
right, right. They be talking all that producer talk. I'm like, what? Like, all right, man, you got that. You got that.
But yeah, so it's Simba, Tango Beats, Dizzy. We have our in-house and founding member Super T. He did most of the mixing on it. Um, I produced a couple of tracks on it. I think the
How that
last
feel? How that feel for you?
it felt good, man. I've been it's been a while since I've actually put my touch on things, you know, because
Was it like riding a bike for you?
yeah, well, I had to I had to make some
Like,
adjustments.
yeah, it was.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a little tough. It was a little tough. And plus, I feel a little I feel some type of way because I'm competing with these cats, and these cats they putting out bangers, you know.
hmm
So I'm like, damn, I gotta make sure if I'm gonna put my touch on this shit, I gotta make sure it's at the level the bar that they have already set. You know what I mean? It's
Right,
gotta match. You
right.
can't be like, I don't know who did that track, but
You don't
oh.
even need to hear that shit already. Already, dog. Because you know they're gonna give it to you, and you ain't even
Oh
trying to
yeah.
hear that, dog. Yeah.
And this crew, man, the fam, one thing we do, we don't lie to each other.
hmm
We don't lie to each other because especially because we see that our names are attached to a certain works, and we can't have that. You know what I mean? That's why, though we've done a lot of work, you may not see a whole lot of body of work that has been released because we're very critical about what we put out. You
hmm
know, so they'll tell you like, yo, Ray, I don't know about that one. I ain't. You may want to hold that. You may want to
Be
hold.
like that. That's the
But
importance of branding and quality right there, man.
yeah, yeah. There's no yes man. There's no yes man. But yeah, man. But
I gotta play this track with Kano, man. Like
oh
I gotta play this track with Kano. Like this
yes,
thing is calling me. We got for anybody out there, man, this is like I said, episode 1 of the Tone Deaf Testimonies. I'll be rambling, so I have to set a timer or a stopwatch to shut myself up. We're gonna go a little bit overtime, probably, just a little bit though, just because
just a little bit.
just a little bit. We got to do it. I'm gonna adjust my timing for everybody else as well. But this dude sent me like 4 tracks, and the last track he sent was like after the buzzer type track. Like I already had all the music keyed up and lined up and everything. And I look at my phone, I see a message. It's like, oh, you're gonna like this song right here. It's featuring Kano. What? Okay, I'm gonna need to hear that shit. So explain the song to me, man. Break this down for me.
Okay, so Dizzy gave me this track, and immediately when I heard it, I just started writing to it. And when I had finished up, I was like, I need Kano on this, and Kano, he can vouch for me on this. I talked.
What made you think about Kano, man?
Because we had when we first met each other, we met at one of the shows that you had. We was on the same bill.
I love hearing that shit, man. I love hearing that.
At the Food Bar.
Mm-hmm.
So after I heard this cat, I was like, I gotta work with him. I gotta work with him. You know what I mean? I like what he's saying. He's on his own island out here. He's straight hip hop, and but he's so St. Pete. that's what I loved about him. You know,
like
what
a
I mean?
damn crab tray out the back type shit. Though.
You know what I mean?
That
So,
nigga.
yeah, I was like, I gotta work with him. But when I got I said I need to figure out how I can link up with this cat, how I can work with this cat. But when I got that track, when Dizzy gave me that track, and I wrote the first verse, I said, this is the one I want him on. So I reached out to him, bro. I reached out to Kano over a year ago about this track, and he was like, yeah, I got you. But he was busy. He's moving. He's doing. I get it.
Kano just had a baby girl, like
yes, congratulations.
Yesterday, I think it was. So shout out to you, Kano.
Shout out to you.
And to Mama Freeman too, man. Like congrats, y'all.
Yes, and such a great season, Libra season. It's the perfect time to have a baby.
Hey, somebody needs to, man. I'll let y'all have that. My season got completely disrupted by this Rona, boy.
But so I had been, so you know, I let him. I was like, you know, I don't want to be stalking, dude. You know what I mean? So I sent him the track, and he held on to. He said, yeah, I like this. I got you. But then I didn't hear from him for a while. But I see him doing his thing. I'm like, okay, so he busy doing his thing. He about to drop his album. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? You got to be selfish in this game. And then fast forward this year, I say, yo, man, you good? Yeah, I'm good, man. I said, nice album. I love your album. I'm still working on mine, but I'm waiting for this feature, this cat.
I'm gonna need you to handle this.
Yeah. I said I'm still waiting on this cat to do this feature for me, and then I'll probably be wrapping up my project. He's like, I got you. I know where you go. So man, he came through, and we did it. So this one right here is called Someday, and it's some real shit, man. It's going to take you back to the crack days in the streets. I'm telling a vivid story of a portion of my life when I was about 5 or 6 years old during the crack epidemic. So just run it.
All right, let's get into this. It's Someday.
Dizzy Visions.
Run the track.
Must be something in the air. It's something in the air. Must be something in the air. It's something in the air. I was 6 on 5th watching the snow fall. Witness niggas making the cut, then draw the short straw. On the park bench they would drift. Mine was so gone, consciousness slipped as the wind blow. Taking a scent of liquor and piss. Beneath my feet concrete, broken glass and cracked valves. Shattered dreams filled with fiends under dark clouds. Everybody out here getting high around me. I hear high screams and sirens around me. Shots ring, bullets fly by me. Bodies drop by me. Watch they soul lift and drift, why me? Must be something in the air. sleep then wake up to nightmares. Sounds of people under the stairs. Kids in the hallway playing Candyland, snatched by Candyman, and nobody cares. We're all out of tears. It's a fight for survival in the life that you fear. What's hope around here? We broke around here. Got a church on every corner, plenty dope around here. Zombies roam around here. They don't last long around here. Lucky if you make it to your 21st year. I think it's something in the air. Plans, goals, dreams, yeah. Must be something in the air. It's something in the air. Must be something in the air. It's something in the air.
So righteous and passionate, this was no accident. It was predicted I'd become something great, continue to create. It must be something in the air, cause I can feel the essence. Thinking back on them nights when I was broken, just stressing. I was clueless, I ain't know shit about investments. Now I turn my phone on and my cash app progressing. Remaining humble, even when certain plans crumble. One bullet can end it all, rest easy, stack bundles. They jealous of you, so they rather kill you. They hate the fact that other people feel you. What a wicked planet, breaking down organic on my magazine. You wish the worst for me, but I still hope that you fulfill your dreams. Sincerely, Kano.
Must be something in the air. It's something in the air.
To rock with that one right there, man. Okay, I see you, Joe. So all this is coming on the new project right here.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
So
crazy.
this On My Way track is also on the new project too?
No, okay. So the On My Way track, that's on a previous project that I had done. The project is called On My Way, and I did that. I dropped that in 2015.
Okay.
And that right there, that was a totally different vibe. I was like, I'm out here, I'm hungry, I'm on my grizzly, you know what I mean? So I'm actually re-releasing that project. I had to pull it down, and let me get this out to artists who don't know.
Come on with it, man.
It's very important that you brand yourself properly, because I made a terrible mistake. You need to brand yourself properly, and if you have a name that is hot, trademark that shit as soon as possible, so nobody gets it. So Tone, let me tell you what happened to me. I've always been Reh Rek, aka Rekless, but the team decided that Rekless is the name that's been catching, so let's run with it. So they started my catalog with Rekless. The problem with that is, like, there's a lot of Rekless out there.
Right.
Not all of them spell it the same way as I do, but this one particular artist did, and he's popping overseas. So it was our first time distributing, and my project, my On My Way project, my debut project, official debut, it went under his catalog, under his name. So no disrespect to him, but let's just say I don't sound nothing like this cat.
Nah, either way, I'm gonna need my money.
You know what I mean? But I will say, I did get a lot of streaming on the international level from it. But people out here, when they was looking for me, they were always, his name would pop up, his catalog would pop up. So I was like, enough of this shit. At first it was cool because I was getting the numbers, I was getting the streams, I'm getting the royalties, I'm getting the money. So we'll just roll with it. But it's much more than that now, especially when I'm rolling out artists and we trying to, the other part about it is you want to tag
This
your
shit
name.
part of the legacy, man. Like, that's part of the
Exactly.
resume, dog. Like, nah.
Exactly. So now I'm attaching artist names to shit because we're doing features and everything. And now they rolling up under his catalog. We can't have that. So I pulled the project down, and I'm re-releasing it, and it's gonna be under my catalog name, which is Reh Rek. I'm still Rekless, but Reh Rek under that catalog. So that way everybody has a chance to hear all the music I put out. You know what I mean? So On My Way is from that project.
Okay. All right. That's dope right there. And then, like I said, My Demands, we play that one on the radio too. And
Yes.
let me see
Yeah.
what we're looking at on time here. We got like 5 minutes, man. I want,
Okay.
because like I said, we doing like overtime right here, man. I
Yeah.
know that you are. I got a couple questions to ask you, actually, man. Let me roll into like this one, man. With everything going on, like with the social unrest and like the whole Black Lives Matter movement, like how is it for you being a father of Black men? Like how has that been for you?
It's heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. I'm so sick and tired. And I'm really concerned about my sons. I got 3 sons. I got one 17, one is about to be 15. I have one that's about to be 13. You know what I mean? On my son's 17th birthday, I had to have this talk with him again. You know, with the Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. I told him, I said, son, you're 17 years old now, and though you are still a child that we know of, you're still a teenager, you look like a man. You look like a young man. You look like a man that everybody fears. You know, because he's got the braids and, you know, twisted up, and he wears the hoodie. He got his own style or whatever. But I said, they don't see you the way we see you. They don't know. You don't walk around with, I'm in school. You don't walk around with the title, I have 2 parents who love me. You don't walk around with the title, I'm a student athlete. You know, they just see you. And
Right.
until you have the opportunity to show differently, they're going to see you like how they see people on the media. We just some hoodlums. We just some criminals or
Thugs.
thugs, offenders,
Yeah.
offenders or whatever. And I said, you know what? And it don't matter how well you perform. Somebody's always going to remind you of what they think of you. You know. So I said, make sure that you are always respectful, always treat people with respect, but don't be a pushover. And if you encounter some cops, know your rights. Remember, you still under the age. So if you encounter a cop, say, hey, I'm not answering any of your questions. Please call my mother and call my father. That's what you say to them. Please call my mother. Please call my father. I will not answer any of your questions. You know, so I had to give him those instructions, man. But I'm just tired, Tone, because I had the same conversation when with Trayvon Martin. They were small then, you know, and I had to have this conversation with them. So it's ridiculous. So
Getting a little bit old right now, man.
it
But I
is.
don't see any change inside. I mean, I'm glad to see people fighting back against it, and protesting for a reason, But at the same time, like since shit, I don't even know whose name to say right now, man. Like, there's been so many names right
Yeah.
now. But let's say since I don't even remember who got shot back in April, but since April, it's been like somebody getting shot and killed every other week.
Right.
And it's just been like Breonna Taylor's killers are fucking walking free, and that got to be the biggest bullshit slap in the face shit you're gonna see right there, man. They're getting charged for
that whole
shooting
thing
into the
is
neighbor's
political.
apartment. That's some
Yeah.
bullshit, man.
Yeah.
And the
That was.
motherfucking attorney general of Kentucky is a fucking coon for that shit, man. For real.
Well, because he's in the pockets of the Republicans. You know what I mean? Look who he's associated with. Mitch McConnell. You know, he spoke. You had, if anybody was paying attention and understood the connections, I knew it when they invited him to speak at the RNC convention. When they invited him, I knew what time it was.
Right.
I knew we wasn't going to see any justice. And that was a power play. It was like, look, we're going to give you this platform. We know you want to climb up in the political arena. So we're going to have you speak, but we're going to need you to do this for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I knew it was coming. They think they so slick, but we smarter than that now, Tone. I mean, in this day and age, we got so much avenues for information. We educating ourselves, and again, we tired.
Right.
So we ain't gonna stand for that shit no more. So that, it's funny. It's funny now. It's so blatant, and they think they slick. but it looks stupid now because we know the games you playing, you know. But I tell
Shit
people, go,
ridiculous, bro.
yeah, that's why you got to vote. You know, people, Tone, let me say this. We, in Florida, I think during the primary election, out of all the voters, only about 30 to 40% voted in the primary election. The primary election is where you vote for your city and local officials.
Mm-hmm.
You see how we fall short? So when you mad because these judges and these attorney generals and these mayors and these governors and senators, you mad because of the decisions they make over us and not getting us the justice that we need? Well, we have to take some accountability because we had the opportunity. We voted them in.
Right.
As a people, we voted them in. People focus on these presidents. These presidents, they don't give a shit. These presidents don't make no decisions for us in our local and state. They don't make those decisions for us. They can suggest, they can influence, they may be able to step in, but it's the city and local officials and the state officials who make the judgment and laws for us, you know, and we vote on them.
Oh, you must have knew what time it was because the alarm just went off right there, man. Reckless, what I want to do, man, I want you to go ahead and drop all your social media information so people can follow along. And when is the new album drop in October? What?
10-20-20. 10-20-20-20.
I like that. I like that.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, what's your social media info?
Okay, so Instagram at Reh Rek, Twitter at Reh Rek, Facebook at Reh Rek, aka Rekless. So just hit me up. Look,
you better
out
spell
for
Rekless, dog.
Rekless.
There you go.
Yes,
there
and that's
go.
Reh Rek, REHREK.
There you go. They're gonna be looking for somebody else and be like, "What the hell is this shit?" They're gonna pull up. They're gonna be on YouTube. They're gonna be on YouTube pulling up Ray's Rec Recovery and.
Oh hell no! REHREK, Reh Rek.
For sure, man. What I want you to do is just I want you to drop like one tidbit, one jewel on the way out of here for anybody out there that needs to hear it. Whatever it may be about, drop a jewel.
Okay, I say this, man. First of all, go out and vote. Vote for yourself. Vote for your friends and family who are not able to vote. And if anything, I don't care what party you affiliated with. If you tired of this shit, if you tired of social unrest, you tired of this COVID-19, you need to be out there voting and in honor of John Lewis. John Lewis, a civil rights icon.
Rest up, sir.
Let's honor him. Let's honor him by voting. It's not a privilege, it's a right. And people need to know that the Voters' Rights Act is it gets replayed every couple of years, which means this is an act that they have to reauthorize, that they have to reissue. That means that at any point in time, they can take that shit away from you. You know what I mean? So exercise your right to vote. Get the people in office that will stand for you, for your community, and your peoples.
Straight up, man. Straight up. This has been the Tone Deaf Testimonies, man. You're the first guest on here. I want to say
thank you, Tone. I appreciate you, man.
Bruh, thank you for taking time out to talk to me. I'm excited to hear the whole album and what I've heard already. It sounds dope. And like I said, this is a side project from what we do, Waves of the Bay. But one of these songs I just played tonight is going to be played on Waves of the Bay coming this Saturday. So
that's what's up.
I haven't decided which one. I'm thinking it's going to be the title track, honestly, man. For real, that thing we jamming. So
run it.
I'm going to have to, Doug. I'm going to have to. But, man, thank you once again for taking time out to be the first guest on Tone Deaf Testimonies. And I think we're going to go ahead and trademark and run with the Tone Deaf Tuesdays. And it's going to be dropping on Tuesdays right here, man. So anybody out there, my webpage is right there, tone-capone.com. I spell my name with a K. You spell it with a C, you will not see me. I will catch y'all the next go round. Y'all be easy.
Easy.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey.
Man.
This is Tone Capone.
And DJ Spaceship.
And Saturday nights from 10 to midnight, we bring you
Waves of the Bay.
Right here on WMNF 88.5 Tampa.
With the hottest interviews, the hottest music.
You can submit your music for the Tampa Bay Watch segment at wavesofthebay@gmail.com or follow us on all social media at Waves of the Bay.
Every Saturday, 10 to 12. Make sure you come and ride the wave.
Yes, sir.